It's time for the question of the day. Hot takes and toast.
Chugging along.
Little late. We usually do this at 7:30, but we had David Smoke on, and he has about 1 million opinions on college football, and he's in Waco, and Utah's playing Baylor, and it's the perfect time to have him on, and we love having him on. But now, you put this on hold. I have a lot to say about the Utah Jazz. That was PK about an hour ago. All right, we got a window here. Let's do it. What do you have to say about the Utah Jazz after they beat the punchless Indiana Pacers senseless?
I want to see Ace Bailey get 25 a game, and I'm talking about minutes, and as a starting point. And I don't care if it disrupts what Will Hardy wants. I don't care if he misses an assignment.
I think it's what Will Hardy wants.
Well, yeah, it's what he wants. I get that. But if Ace Bailey fails to rotate a time or two, or he makes repeated mistakes, I don't care anymore. No, don't send him to the F&G League.
I don't think that's the way this is trending.
How many points did Cody Williams score in the G League, and what has it done to advance his game? How many points did Taylor Hendricks score in the G League, and what has it done to advance his game? Nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, I don't think Ace Bailey's G League bound. I don't think you have to worry about that.
Oh, well, I don't want to worry about it. I don't want him sitting the bench. I want him 25 from here on out. And I don't care if he screws up. Let him play through his mistakes. Oh, well, you have to worry about the locker room. Bleep the locker room.
I believe they're already at that point.
Ace Bailey, well, they just started him. This is only his second game.
Yep.
So
but I don't think it's going the other way now. I think it was.
So then they've come to the same conclusion I have.
I believe that to be true. I would be, and I don't know that. Nobody's told me anything, but I would be surprised if I didn't see him in the starting lineup.
You're on the inside when it comes to the Jazz, not me.
No.
I'm literally on the outside. So I want this kid in there playing. He makes mistakes. BFD, big fetching deal. Let him play through it.
I think there are other guys who've had their rookie year, or in some cases maybe their rookie year and their second year, and they started out, and there have been performances where they have made mistakes, and they have gone to the bench, sometimes for longer, some guys for shorter periods, some guys for longer periods, and Ace has got this upside, and judging from what Will says, and you can't say everything, but I think Will generally says about as much as can be said. I think he's upbeat. I think he's upbeat on the way Ace is taking in the new information and learning stuff and figuring it out. And he knows there's a lot to learn and a lot to figure out. But the minutes have been ticking up. We were talking about this with David Locke. The minutes have been ticking up more quickly than Locke was talking about when he was on. And they had that terrible performance where it didn't look like anybody in the starting lineup was ready to go in Minnesota. And I think everything you just said was Will and the coaching staff looking at each other on the weekend because they play Saturday and Sunday like, why not? Why not? That was horrific. The rest of us can turn the channel. Having to sit there and watch that on Friday, hey, the second and third year guys, we've been trying to warm them up here for a year or two. Here's a guy who's a camp and a summer league and 10 games in, and he seems to be progressing. And let's give it a shot. How could it go worse? Well, and it hasn't gone poorly. And they started giving him the more starter minutes. We have seen the minutes. He's had minutes where he's been playing 23, 24 minutes a game instead of being in the teens where he was the first couple weeks of the season. So it looks like from giving him more minutes to moving him in the starting lineup, the feedback he's getting, which obviously we're not all privy to, he seems to be adapting to. I think the arrow's up. And you're right, it's only 2 starts, and maybe something will happen, but I'd be surprised.
I don't want to hear anymore, well, they have to earn the minutes. I get that. That's right there in Coaching Manual 101.
Right. And I think the conversation with other players is he's earned them. You haven't. Here's the bar. You got to meet the bar.
But even if he struggles, which he's going to struggle.
There'll be some, sure. They know that.
I don't want him going back. I want him continue to be able to play through it. Unless he's a flat-out dog and doesn't want to work and shows no initiation or inspiration or aggressiveness, which I don't think is going to happen. Otherwise, I don't care. I don't care if somebody if player X is upset. I'm working just as hard, and I'm not getting the minutes. Yeah. I don't care about the locker room and what they think or what they feel anymore. I'm done with that.
There's a pecking order. There's a guy who's a top 5 pick who's looking pretty good.
Right.
And there's people who are top 10, top 20, top 30 or 35 picks who are struggling up and down in the second and third year, and this guy seems to have the jet fuel in the first year.
Or they're veterans. I don't care.
Yeah.
I would go to the point of practically playing him more than marketing.
So that's the thing is, how quickly does he start playing 30 minutes a game? How much can he sustain this?
Thursday night.
He's been
whatever his conditioning is, I don't know that.
Right.
What can he do?
I just wonder when you see him going 28 and 26 minutes.
Teams and all that.
They've got the science teams, and they're playing 3 times in 4 nights.
So, they need to.
He's at 28 and 26 in the last 2 games. 30's right around the corner. So, 30,
I'm
35.
fine with that.
Yeah.
I always thought if you played more than half the game, you have an opportunity to impact the game.
Right.
It's harder when you're playing 10 minutes. But if you're going 20, that's why I put the standard at 25.
Mm-hmm.
And if he can get to the point where he's playing 30, 35 minutes, great. But right now, I want to see 25 minimum. And if he makes mistakes, if his teammates get frustrated with him, tough. Because he's the future. And if you're going to ever get out of this, you're going to need him to be playing at a high level. That's just a fact. They've already been doing it with marketing, and they suck. So he's good.
He's good. You need more.
Approximately 0 defensive rebounds last night.
And that compares how to a dead man? The quote that will stay with you the rest of your life.
Right. I looked at that. The guy did 3.
Do you remember that? Because I think Rick said
rebounds?
that. I think Rick Majerus said that more than once.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember the first time you heard it?
It was probably in relation to Van Horn.
Yeah.
Because he was hardest on
the players who are the best.
Right.
And he saw Van Horn's.
Britain had some issues there.
Right, yeah. He saw Van Horn's massive talent.
Yeah.
And he was going to crack on him.
Right. And the guy.
Period. End of story.
The guy knew talent.
Right. And who was the number 2 pick in the draft?
Right.
Keith Van Horn.
So I can remember they were playing in Maui, and they're lining up on a free throw, and they're on the defensive end. Mm-hmm. And remember, Joe Smith from Maryland gets the rebound over Van Horn because Van Horn didn't block him out aggressively enough. Mm-hmm. Oh, and I made a mental note. Oh, I'm going to hear about this in the postgame. He's a punching bag. Did you see that? And I said to myself, oh, this is coming. I knew it. I knew it was going to come because you get to know the coaches you're covering and you know what gets under their skin.
Yeah.
And I knew that particular play, because that play is inexcusable to allow an offensive rebound off a missed free throw.
We have seen a mix of inexcusable stretches and starts. That some of the stretches have been right at literally the start of the game. And I think that's why, because I wouldn't have guessed. Everything you say, there's even if people disagree, they have to agree. There's at least some truth in what you just said, as far as him being the future and he needs minutes and all that, right? Now, is now the time but there have been so many truly horrific stretches in these first handful of games. And there are different guys, and we don't get to be in the shoot around, so we don't know specifically. They're sometimes told, don't rotate to that guy, right? We'll live or die with that guy's shot. A good example would be a playoff series with a different coaching staff. We'll live or die with that guy's shot. And so sometimes when we're sitting here watching, we're like, why didn't you rotate? Well, maybe they were told not to in that case, right? But the coaches know. And when you're giving up these 29-6 runs, it's like, guys, you're not as good. But could that be a 17-10 run? Does it have to be 29-6? There have been effort and energy and focus issues. And I think Ace Bailey has been coming down on the right side of that line way more often than not. And as much as it's his talent, I think it's that stuff that's got him mixing up the lineups. I think that time does have to be earned. Other guys haven't earned it. There are specific mistakes being made that have been coached up in practice and in shoot around. And guys haven't gotten over the line. They haven't done it right. They haven't finished the deal. So, a little opportunity, maybe a little more early for Ace Bailey than I would have guessed. But here it is, and he seems to be handling it well. And I don't think you see the effort, energy, focus issues with him. Look at the lineup when that happens. Like, he wasn't in the starting lineup in Minnesota on Friday. And we talked about it Monday, and it was a disaster, and you weren't really interested in talking about what a disaster was. I found it almost revolting. That was a horrific start to a game. I don't think it's an accident that he went into the lineup on Monday. If I thought it was horrific, when I did the pre-half and post with Pace and Thurl for 5 years, I started to understand Jerry Sloan a lot better. And I'd already been in the market like 13 years. I'd been in plenty of his shoot-arounds and his post-game media availabilities. But the frustration when the guys don't answer the bell, when you know they're good enough to, I can specifically remember sitting one night and I was answering emails, and they were down 20 in the first quarter. It was in the Boozer-Okur era. They were, and Boozer-Williams-Okur, that group. And I'm answering emails, and Pace is like, aren't you going to watch the game? I looked up, and it was a reflex reaction, PK. I'm like, they don't care. Why should I? It was like 34-10. They were getting drilled. They were way better than that. And he just kind of shrugged. I'm like, that's why Jerry gets up and goes nuts. These guys put so much time and effort into it. When the players don't have the focus or the energy or the effort, coaches want to lose their minds, and they can't because they'll lose their jobs. They can't go out and criticize guys by name. They all know it. We all know it. The players have such power, but it drives the coaches nuts. We worked so hard to get ready for this moment, and now this is what we get. I think what we're seeing from Ace Bailey, aside from the fact that he's tall and he's long and he's athletic and he's talented, he seems to be super interested in making the most of every possession. So he's in the lineup because of his talent, obviously. But, man, I don't think it's an accident he went in after that disaster of a game on Friday in Minnesota. They're like, hey, we've been talking to some of these guys for 2 years. That's what we're going to get? Believe it. Let's play the rookie, see what he's got. Minimum, we're going to send a message. If he's not up to the moment, we'll find out soon enough. But I bet they thought he was up to the moment. And sure enough, 2 pretty good performances out of him in these 2 starts.
I don't want any turning back now. There will be times when he's not up to the moment.
Yep.
But I don't care. I want him to play through the moment. Oh. It would be like Aaron Roderick isn't going to now bench Bachmeier.
That doesn't seem like it's going to happen.
He said he had a bad game. He said Aaron Roderick in his media availability yesterday, it finally happened. He had a bad game. All right, he had a bad game. Yeah, we get it. And against a very good team.
And then A-Rod, of course, was smart enough to say, so did we all.
Yeah, including me, is what he said. Yep. So with that in mind, he's right back at it, and away we go, and they play the ball game on Saturday night. Ace Bailey's going to have some bad games. I don't want them to say, well, it's not his night. Come over here, son. No, I want him to play through it all. See what he's got. And what do you have here? I mean, Hendricks has the injury, so it's not really fair to evaluate him. But what do you have in these other guys that you have drafted? Do you know yet? By the time we've got to April, I want them to think, yes, Ace Bailey, obviously I hope it works out, but I want them to think, okay, he's this player, he's that type of player. We'll see. We have a nice evaluation. Now, it's not complete. It's not like the book is closed because it will go into his second year, but the expectation will be set. And last year, sitting Cody Williams or sending him to the G League, what good did that do?
What good is playing him done? I don't know. Is he the guy or is he a bust?
What's the best way to find out?
Play him.
Yeah.
Then, you know.
If you're going to lose, find out. Have some discovery.
They may have already.
And maybe they have.
Maybe
they have.
They figured it out.
Maybe they think that was not a good pick.
Oops.
Okay, well.
Oops.
It happens, and it'll happen again. No one's perfect at this. So, fine. But I want to make sure that that's not what they do with Ace. Let him run. He is like a caged gazelle. Let him go.
You know, it's so crazy to me that there was all that draft stuff and where do you want to play and all of that, and it was so driven by his agent, and it was, people find it distasteful, and this is what's wrong with the NBA. How dare this rookie? Like all that stuff is the only reason they got him. And it doesn't seem to be his personality at all. We're not seeing any hints of that.
No,
Crazy.
not yet. And I think maybe some of that is in the media world in which we live. I got to get some attention on me. So I'm going to put this out there. Some coach just said that. They put my name out there, and it affects me, my family, all of our staff. Who was that? He just said it like in the last day or two. And my name is associated with this. They just put my name out there like it's for real, and then away you go. And then I saw something with our guy, Donnie Osmond, yesterday, where he said, there's a bunch of stuff out there. If it doesn't come from my verified account, don't believe it. And he has to go on. This man is like 66, 67 years old. He's been an entertainer for literally 60 years, and he's got to put out stuff at this point in his life that, don't believe this stuff. It's not true. If it doesn't come from me, don't believe it. But I wonder how much that, oh, man, I got the story. Ace Bailey's guy, man. Blah, 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 blah. Well, it turns out in the end it wasn't true, because here he is, and he's balling. And he seems to have a smile on his face most of the time.
All the time. His energy, upbeat. Yeah.
So I wonder how much of that was just fabrication in the media world, which is why the public has about zero trust in media today.
Why did those two teams pass on him then, when it seemed like he was guaranteed to be the third pick?
Because maybe they bought into it. I don't know. It doesn't mean it's true. And the guys they drafted so far have been okay.
I think in this case, I get your point, and there's certainly examples of that, but I think in this case, that representative is gone. I think some stuff happened.
Okay, fine.
The other firm came in, and
but
new
the Jazz
agent
didn't. Why did the Jazz didn't pass on him?
To me, it just felt like a big game of poker, and the Jazz decided, okay, we're going to push the chips in and call. And
so did they have more information than Charlotte and Philly?
That is something that we're not going to get told, and I would love to know. Yeah, who did they know that they knew something? There's a lot of weird stuff that happens around drafts. And, how Karl Malone slipped to the Jazz is a weird story. And decades later, how Ace Bailey slips is a weird story. But, I mean, that's part of what they get paid for, is to figure out when it's a bluff and call the bluff. And they did. Yeah. So, all right, DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's game week for the Aggies, and the KSL Sports Zone is getting you ready for kickoff. Bronco Mendenhall and the Aggies are just one win away from bowl eligibility as they travel south for a battle against UNLV. Listen all week long for the best coverage of Aggie football. Then catch all the play-by-play action beginning with the Aggie pregame show this Saturday at 4 on 1280 The Zone. Your exclusive home for Aggie football is live on air, online, and on the KSL Sports app. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
DJ and PK got the question up here. Oh, it's timely as the headlines, PK. BYU gets a commitment from a G League center, Abdullah Ahmed, age 22. He's going to have 2 years of eligibility. What's going on with college sports? Who are you, and what have you done with college sports?
Now, this is zero criticism on BYU. They're just playing by the rules.
Aaron, it's called winning, PK.
This is crazy, man. He's been in the G League.
I know. It's a brand new world, man. And I was at the Jazz game last night. I was talking to Tim Lacombe, who does the Jazz pre-F and post, and obviously he's on Dave Rose's staff and recruited guys for years, and he worked for Rick Majerus for that. And I'm like, why weren't you ever smart enough to get a G League player? What were you doing in the high school gyms with 16 and 17-year-old prospects? What are you thinking? He was like, yeah, I really missed the boat.
That wasn't allowed.
It wasn't allowed.
And is Cody Williams going to go back to Colorado for another year?
Yeah, I would if I were him. Why not? get some good NIL.
This is crazy, man. I don't understand it. And you've got NCAA basketball coaches calling it out.
Yep. But it's like when I was talking with Tim, I said, well, you better do it, because if you don't, someone else is, and then that guy's going to beat you, and then you're going to have to answer for it, and you'll get fired.
If the kid's good enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe I was told that he was there on Saturday, and I know there were recruits there. I think it was him, maybe not. But then he signs, and then he'll have 2. And how do they determine 2 years?
I have no.
3 or 1.
I can't explain this to you. I don't know what the rules are. I'm not aware there are any rules. I guess there must be some rules because he doesn't have 3 or 4 years of eligibility.
Right.
But I don't. I don't know.
So now you're going to see college coaches at G League games?
Sure, why not? What is the point? I mean, you see Santa Barbara and schools at that level just feel like they feel like a JC program. You're going to bring in the kids, you're going to play them, and then whoever looks good will go off to the Mountain West or the Pac-12, and if they're really good, they'll go off to the Big 12, I guess. And if they're just, a couple inches too short and a step too slow, they can play there 3 or 4 years.
The Big West was never in it to win it.
No, but those 4-year schools are JCs. They're just the Big Sky, the Big West. It's all stratified and just.
But how was that? How is that any different? Does that? It's like we talked to Phillips at UVU. He didn't bat an eyelash. His whole team was gutted by transfers. So we'll just go get. Well, this is the way it works. So we're not going to worry about it.
And UVU's in the Big West starting next year. Right. So yeah,
every time we have him on, we think Todd. This sucks. Are you? He just blows it off. He just goes right around.
And the great story he gave us about a friend, a person he described as a friend, calling saying, "Hey, I'm not trying to do this, but everybody else is, so I better let you know." So I got to ask you, how good is this player? And he's like, "It's 5 games. I don't know." Like, ask me after 15 games.
I think everybody just rolls with it.
Yeah, they have to. Or they get out, as we've seen a lot of coaches do. Like, I see where this is going. I don't want any part of it. And
older fellows who their time was short anyway. So maybe that expedited it. But now everyone who's going into it knows full well.
What they're going to sign up for.
Talks about that. Hey, I got into it. These are the rules. So
it's a Godfather line.
They're not.
This is the business we chose.
They're not complaining about it.
David says it's no longer college sports. Don't let them fool you. It's 100% professional.
That's the silver lining, is because I always claimed after being on the inside of it as a beat writer.
Holy cow, there's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's like David Smoke just said.
Right.
Yeah, why should Texas Tech apologize for spending a lot of money? Has that not been happening in the SEC for 50 years?
And we all knew it was. I was a beat writer for 15, 20 years. And the stuff that I was exposed to, yeah, okay. And everybody knew it, but you didn't waste time running around trying to bust the other guy because they were doing it. I told you, I had a coach in the Mountain West call me and acknowledging that he was going to do something that you weren't supposed to do, and he walks into the gym and sees another coach doing it.
And someone told you about that, but I got to imagine that happened hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times.
And he just rolled with it. Yeah. And he didn't go. He called me because I covered the guy, and he thought I'd get a chuckle out of it.
Yeah.
Right? And we both laughed. And that kid that they went and saw ended up playing in the NBA for at least 8, 9, maybe 10, 11 years. I'd have to go look it up. And he was worth the opportunity to go. But what are these rules? And he went in there. The guy wanted to work him out a little bit to decide if he wanted to recruit him, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there are no rules. We have Bronco Mendenhall on Monday telling us the Phantom hotline you're supposed to call.
That was awesome. If you didn't hear Bronco Monday on this, you got to go listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Right. And
KSLSports.com, YouTube, Apple, whatever.
He's pushing 60 years old. He's seen so much. He doesn't care. He's going to speak the truth as he sees it. So telling it like it is. And it's true. There are no rules on this tampering. Oh, my gosh. BYU contacted a Utah player. Yeah, so what?
Yeah. And players are going back and forth between those two schools, and that's just going to keep happening.
And nobody contacted Dampier? He just thought, boy, I'm going to sit by my phone, and once I put my name in the portal, maybe they'll call. I mean, come on. The rules, just do away with the rules. The rules are silly. Players
are getting contacted on the field, shaking hands. The sportsmanship moment at the end of games is recruiting. Yeah.
BYU told me that with Algier.
I know.
They literally told me out on the field. He got an offer.
Hey, we'd love to have you here next. I'm going to the NFL.
Yeah, and he said, well, thanks, but I'm actually going to put my name in the draft. Oh, all right, well, good luck.
Next. What about him? I talked to him. He's going to the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, he's an NFL back. Obviously.
Oh, yeah, multiple years.
Yeah. And so away he went. And, but this is – the good thing is now it's all out in the open more. Not all, but the most of it. And I was talking with somebody yesterday. I said, no matter what rule they put in, they're going to either just blatantly ignore it or find loopholes within the rule.
100%. No sooner is the rule written than the search for the loophole begins.
Yeah. And why is it? The pressure to win
is enormous.
Is so great to where a guy like James Franklin gets fired, and he was in the playoff last year, and he's fired in October.
3-game
I don't
losing
even know
streak.
if you're even into the point of halfway through the season.
He didn't, yeah. Do you get half a season?
And he had a 3-game losing streak. Oh, my gosh.
That's it. But they invested the big money, and they want to win, and they want to win now. And if they're not, now we'll see if that pays off over time or if slow and steady wins the race. Get the right person, and then start getting the money. So, some people have it. It may take a while for other people to find the people who will write the checks. Maybe you have to wait for your grad to make the money. Maybe we'll look back at that over time after 20 years of this.
In terms of what?
Well, that there's somebody right now who's willing to write a check for School X, but they can't because their company hasn't hit it big. But their company hits it big. In 7 years, 8 years, they got the money, and then they write the check.
To your point, that's what they talk about with like UCF. UCF has they're relatively young in terms of their school,
right.
And they have 70,000 students.
Somebody's going to hit it big.
Give them 2 or 3 decades, and suddenly UCF should be having some donors.
Someone's going to start some company and crush it.
Everybody who's employed now will not be employed in that school in 2 or 3 decades. So,
the pressure is on
and that's
now.
why. What's his face? The Nebraska guy who went back to UCF.
Scott Frost.
Scott Frost. I was thinking of Foster, and I knew that wasn't it. He's out there saying that these rules and the way it is, I don't like the way it is. Well, you don't hear McGuire saying I don't like the way it is. Or down there in Lubbock, he loves the way it is.
But Kyle's had multiple chances, and he's very careful not to say that, to just say, well, this is the way it is.
Well, he's never going to complain.
Right. This is the way it is.
He refuses to complain because he, rightly so to a lot of people, views complaining as excuse making. And once you start going down the road of excuse making,
you're not problem solving.
Yeah.
And you need to problem solve.
Then you're putting out the message when he's the top dog in the program. So he doesn't want to put out the message, hey, we got an excuse why we're not winning. So it's not really our fault. So don't worry about it. And then, so what's the point of going that extra bit to make sure you're working out, whether it's whatever form of training that you're doing when there's no cameras on, and that, especially in football, the training is what's going to lead to success out on the field. So he doesn't even want to broach that. Nope. He'll tell it like it is, but it's not a form of complaint. When he even said that a few weeks back.
I know. That's what I'm thinking of, yes.
Texas Tech, when I asked him, well, yeah, we're already seeing it. And I'm not complaining. Congratulations to them.
Yep.
That's why I think Tech doing what it's doing
could raise the bar for other people.
Sets the standard. And so coaches can go into and they're aligned, I believe, with the AD because the ADs already know it. I already told you that somebody not this past summer, the summer before, told me that we lost a Punch and Judy infielder to an SEC team, and where he knew he wasn't going to start, but he was going to get double his money to play as an insurance to injury. And here he was starting for our team. This guy laid it out for me. Gave me the kid's name, gave me this. Obviously, I knew the school he was at and the school where he was going. He just said, and he wasn't complaining either. He's just saying, this is what it costs. This is what it is.
This is what it costs to win at that level.
And he didn't talk about a premier football player. He was making a point. This was a middle infield decent. He called Punch and Judy hitter, which is not banging the ball over the fence.
No.
It's not Cal Raleigh here. And he's
slapping
a nice
it
player,
to the opposite field.
And he's playing, and he's going to go to another school and provide them with depth. And he's going to get double his money in the SEC.
And that is exactly what Bronco was talking about, though. As people move up and down, you get the money, but you're trading in the playing time in all probability.
It could be, yeah.
Right.
But you got the money.
The coaches have charted this. And
if you're
it's
not
like,
going to the big, you're not going to play in the minor leagues to get drafted, then why not? You got to get the money now because you're not going to get it later.
Right. And that's why. But the coaches have got to, depending on where you are, you got to come up with your best pitch. And that's why Bronco now twice has brought up, Miles Davis is getting more carries at Utah State than he got at BYU. So now he's got more film to show NFL people because that's the best case for Bronco to make.
Right. If that's what you have to your advantage, sell it.
Yes. Exactly. All right, DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Coming up at 9:30, more on this topic. We got an agent trained, practicing, right in the middle of it all. Carter Chow, NFLPA certified contract advisor for Red Envelope Sports, will join us. We'll talk about some of these changes and how he's seeing things change. Carter Chow, that name sounds familiar, PK.
Yeah, well, it does. Obviously, he's Norm's son, and he played ball here and all that stuff.
He's coming up at 9:30. DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's game week for the Utes, and the KSL Sports Zone is getting you ready for kickoff. After a much-needed week off, Kyle Whittingham and the Utes get set for the final 3 games of the season, starting with a trip to Waco for a battle against Baylor. Listen all week long for the best coverage of Utah football. Then catch college football Saturday game day at 10 a.m. with the postgame show immediately following the game on KSLSports.com.
Let's go then. Let's go, baby.
Your home for the best coverage of Utah football is live on air, online, and on the KSL Sports app. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
The Mr. Mac Utah County High School Player of the Week is Lone Peak linebacker Kingston Stroshine. Stroshine had 11 tackles, 3 for loss, and a sack in the Knights' 41-38 overtime win over Davis High School. Doman's KSL Sports coverage of the UHSAA state semifinals at Rice-Eccles Stadium. Catch the action Thursday and Friday beginning at 10 a.m. each day on KSLSports.com, the KSL Sports app, or right here on the KSL Sports Zone. The Utah County Player of the Week award is proudly presented by Mr. Mac. No one buys, no one sells, no one cares the way they do. Absolutely no one.
No, I mean literally no one. Zero.
No one.
It's like no other. Go look it up. It's a fact.
Epic quarterfinal game right there. 41-38. Must have been awesome.
Oh, yeah. I was glad I was there.
You weren't there. You were with your Corner Canyon Chargers, delivering another walloping. Strolling into the semifinals.
Delivering another walloping. I did take in the first half.
Yeah. And that was about it. It was over by then. We have multiple questions up on our Facebook page this morning. The esteemed Brett McMurphy has Utah as a 10 seed and Texas Tech as a 5 in his predicted final college football playoff bracket. You buying it? Number 10, they get in. I think a lot of people would buy the Utes. They obviously have to win out for that to happen. So that's the easy part of it. So I guess the question then is are you buying Oklahoma and Texas will lose down the stretch and a spot will open up? BYU will lose down the stretch and a spot will open up? They need 3 teams, right? They need 3 teams to lose. You get from 13 to 10. I just picked the 3 that are right in front of them. Maybe Notre Dame loses to Pitt. Maybe maybe Oregon down the stretch, USC or Washington gets them. How far will they fall?
Yeah, I can see an opportunity.
I'm not convinced Oregon would fall out with a second loss. It might be your classic. It depends what it looks like.
Which I think it should. And I think that's what is carrying Utah is because it does depend.
Yeah. They're not winning.
They're David smoking teams.
They are David smoking teams.
Yeah. Right.
We had David Smoke on earlier this morning, bringing all the enthusiasm, all the energy.
He don't blow no smoke. So, yeah, I think that it's all legitimate. That would be sensational for the program. And I think by extension the conference, but mostly for the program, if they got in at 10-2, did not get in to the title game, but still get into the playoff.
I think what you just said there is spot on. it would be really good for the conference and sensational for the program.
Yeah.
Everyone in the conference will be able to say, come to school X, come to BYU, come to Arizona State, come to Houston, come to Cincinnati, whatever. We're a two-bid league. So they'll get some mileage out of it. But obviously, if you're the team that gets in, you get the most mileage out of it. Mm-hmm. We're a playoff team sounds better than we're a two-bid league.
Yeah. I mean, from Big 12 perspective, I'd love to see it happen. Obviously, from the Utah perspective, for those folks there, a lot of friends are Ute fans, and that would be fun and give me a little more interest in watching the games. Maybe I'd even be there, I guess.
What this means, if I can extrapolate this then, is that Brett thinks the Utes will win out. He thinks that a bunch of teams in front of him are going to lose, which means the door would be open for BYU potentially, right?
But
assuming they can win out. He doesn't have BYU in. I assume that means he doesn't think they're going to win out. But maybe Utah could hop them.
So how about this? You lose to Cincinnati, or you don't. You go 3-0, and you get in the title game. Tech works you again. So then you're saddled with a second loss. And
you're 11-2, and you get left out, and Utah gets in at 10-2.
Yeah.
We don't have a huge body of evidence. That's not what they did last year. They don't want to penalize teams to play an extra game when someone else doesn't have to play one, which is what everyone complains about Notre Dame, because Notre Dame never plays the extra one. I mean, it could happen. It's not what happened last year, but it could happen. And again, if it's on a neutral floor field and if it's a second blowout, and because they are way into this game control. They got all these advanced metrics they're using, plus the eyeball test, which gives them the option of doing whatever they want.
Okay, how about...
But the metrics thing with Utah, you could say, oh, well, that was a close game with 10 minutes left. These two BYU games were not a close game with 10 minutes left.
Or they lose to Cincinnati or whomever, TCU, and tiebreaker breaks their way, they get in and lose. And Utah goes.
Yeah, third loss, then you really don't have much of a case in my mind. You get beat
but there's an extra game. You just told me you don't get penalized for the extra game.
It is an extra game.
So you do get penalized for the extra game.
If it's a third loss. Yes, you're right. No, I know, I get it. It's moving. There's a lot of scenarios here, and I had to lay that one out.
Right, but you didn't call for that, so now I want to bury you, and you won't let me, and that bugs me.
Oh, you're right. There, you win.
I know, but I want the satisfaction of you arguing against it.
I have to be writhing as I fight off the shark. He read me a shark story during the commercial break. I'm a marine biologist. That was smart thinking by that dude, though. Hey, the shark's coming. I'm going to scrunch my neck down. I'm going to protect my jugular here. And the thing bit his skull and then moved on.
I saw the picture.
Yeah.
It was in the Cocos Island, and I looked it up. It's off of Costa Rica, basically.
Oh, wow.
It's a Costa Rica island in the Pacific Ocean.
He's been studying sharks for decades?
30.
Oof. Is that the first time he's been bitten?
Yeah.
Oh.
And he said, I hope this doesn't ever happen again. Duh.
Good point. Rock solid point there. Doc. All right, DJ and PK, 9 o'clock hour coming up. We've got more football for you as the college football season gets more intense. And we got Carter Chow at 9:30. Agents, how different does sports look from their perspective? We'll get to that coming up. Stay with us right here in the Zone.